Diamond Frieza? You must be wondering why this name, right? Let me explain. This is Frieza's new and ultimate transformation, and I can prove it. For many years since we first met Frieza, we haven't had much information about other descendants or ancestors of his race. Just him, his father, and his brother, Cooler. Cooler, Frieza's older brother, is not considered a canonical character in the Dragon Ball universe. He appears in two movies, Dragon Ball Z, Cooler's Revenge, 1991, and Dragon Ball Z, The Return of Cooler, 1992, as well as several video games. However, these movies and games are considered part of the extra material and are not part of the main story of the manga written by Akira Toriyama, so it's kind of a blank page for us. Currently, we also have Frost, who is of Frieza's race and resides in Universe 6, the twin universe of 7. That's it. So, if I say that Frieza's transformations are related to diamonds and also connected to his mental state, you'll think it's crazy, right? Then come with me, and your mind will be blown with this explanation. Speaking of being blown away, smash the like button, subscribe, activate the bell, and comment on what you think about this craziness before watching the video. Let's go! Welcome, and let's get into the video. Frieza, one of Dragon Ball's most iconic villains, has several transformations throughout the series. We first meet him on Namek with 3 forms from his base, his mechanical parts form, and the more recent Golden Frieza, and the currently strongest Black Frieza. Throughout the series, he has adapted to his environment. I believe the Golden Frieza form was something that was on his mind as his objective at that particular moment. At that time, the revenge was against the Saiyans, so nothing was better than killing the Saiyans with the color of the form that allowed him to be defeated more than once by Goku and then Trunks. So, he kind of assimilated this in his head and acquired this form. We can clearly see this parallel in the concept of Frieza, who had a mortal hatred for the Saiyans, and the predominant color was yellow when they both transformed. Coincidence? I don't think so. Now we have the Black Frieza form, which curiously happens after he finds a time chamber on some planet he conquered. This shows that he still continues in this scheme of stealing planets. Anyway, his color now is black, and just like magic, the hatred he had fed for the Saiyans is gone. As we see in the presentation page of the manga where he shows his new form to the Z Warriors, in this case, Goku and Vegeta, who were there on Planet Cereal, the saga where he reappears and says he seeks bigger goals and left aside the hatred for the Saiyans. We know that these words carry enormous weight. Frieza's evolutionary and temporal line is very different from many mortals, including the human race. Theoretically, and actually proven, he was just a child in his species. Taking this into account, we see that now, after spending 10 years in the time chamber, he had a great evolutionary capacity not only physically, but also mentally. With the passage of these years and the events that followed before, I believe he aims for bigger things this time. A clear example is that during the Tournament of Power, he saw a lot and also absorbed a lot about gods, their egos, about angels, and everything. The new color of his form reflects where he trains to reach and what the black form represents. Besides total darkness, not only of the universe, but something very specific, the energy of destruction. Although not the exact color, it has a greater representation with it. So, the direction he will take will be this. Perhaps trying to take Beerus's place as the god of destruction of Universe 7, or actually conquering the entire universe, as it has always been his objective. So, could Frieza represent a diamond in the Dragon Ball series? He started as a rough diamond, already considered the strongest even without being theoretically polished, since his race has a huge evolutionary capacity followed in his bloodline. After starting to be polished, he evolved Yellow, which represents the desire to kill the Super Saiyans, and now Black Diamond, which represents the desire to kill a god of destruction and consequently conquer the universe. abolishing the natural course of things created by Zeno as far as we know. What to expect from him and his next transformation then? I did some brief research on diamonds themselves, and what Frieza lacks now is a more natural color than he already has. In this case, white or somewhat grayish. It could be his last and strongest transformation. And who in Dragon Ball Super represents white? Yes, if you answered the angels, you're right. So, if Black Frieza's current plan works, you can expect that the rarest jewel in the world will be highlighted in the color of Frieza's next transformation. Not necessarily will it have the name like Black or Golden Frieza, but something more symbolic, Diamond Frieza. Diamonds of other rare colors, such as orange, purple, and gray, can also provide significant geological information. These colors usually result from unique combinations of trace elements and environmental conditions, offering more information about the various processes that occur in the mantle and crust of the Earth. In this case, represented by Frieza, absorbing not only the environment outside but the one inside, being able to reflect his current color in the color of his current objectives. And to represent this final form, nothing is better than the color of the Cullinan diamond, the rarest in the world. Its largest gem is called Cullinan I, or the Great Star of Africa, which has 530.2 carats, 106.04 G, and was the largest cut diamond in the world until 1985. So, guys, what do you think about all this about the Emperor of the Universe, the Great Frieza? Did I manage to convince you? If yes or no, it was a good theory, right? Well, comment a lot. It helps the channel. If you made it this far, comment if you love or hate Frieza's new personality. Speaking of personality, he continues to be terrible, and even more so after the Granola saga. He demonstrated coldness. And that's what gave such a great air of suspense that I hope the outcome of everything is as good as this new evolved personality of Frieza, since he was presented to us back in the Namek saga. Frieza was first introduced in the Namek saga in Dragon Ball Z. He is introduced as a powerful and feared galactic emperor, responsible for the destruction of planet Vegeta and the genocide of the Saiyans. Frieza is shown as an extremely cruel and ruthless villain who likes to conquer planets to resell them. The introduction of Frieza is gradual, with his subordinates, such as Zarbon and Dodoria, appearing first and mentioning his power and cruelty. This helps build tension and anticipation for his appearance. When he finally appears, Frieza demonstrates his overwhelming power and his ability to transform into more powerful forms, becoming one of the most iconic villains in the series. Showing that the power levels there would be enormous, starting with Vegeta, who has enormous strength. Imagine Frieza to whom he serves. This continued until the final battle of Goku against him on Namek. Before that, he fought against Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin, and supposedly had killed Piccolo, and Gohan demonstrates that he is the heir of the hidden powers, then gets angry and gives a series of attacks on Frieza, but it wasn't enough. After that, Frieza kills Vegeta, who falls at Goku's feet, and says that Frieza destroyed his home planet, and including Goku's father. Frieza even remembers Bardock. The fight between Goku and Frieza on Namek is one of the most epic and memorable battles in Dragon Ball Z. Here are some of the main moments. Goku transforms into Super Saiyan for the first time after the death of his friend Krillin, drastically increasing his power. In an act of desperation, Frieza throws an energy sphere into the planet's core, causing Namek to start exploding. The fight intensifies with both combatants using their most powerful techniques. Goku eventually surpasses Frieza in strength and skill. Even after defeating Frieza, Goku shows compassion and offers energy so that Frieza can survive. However, Frieza tries to attack Goku again, leading Goku to finally defeat him. Goku escapes the planet in a Saiyan ship just before Namek explodes. This battle not only marked Goku's first transformation into Super Saiyan, but also solidified Frieza as one of the most iconic villains in the series. What was your favorite part of this fight? And this marked Frieza as one of the greatest villains ever presented in the universe. But after the Super Saiyan forms, he fell far behind. This is evident with the arrival of future Trunks, Bulma and Vegeta's son. Trunks transforms into Super Saiyan and, with his sword, cuts Frieza in half and slices him up, destroying him completely. After defeating Frieza, Trunks also eliminates King Cold with ease. This scene is memorable for showing Trunks' impressive strength and introducing a new and powerful ally for the Z-Warriors. There, his grief and hatred for the Saiyans reached their peak, and after being revived a long time later by his henchmen, he started this cycle of hatred again until the current days. As mentioned above, he abandoned the old Frieza. This was a bit of the story of the great Emperor of Universe 7, who will still have his arc of protagonism once again, being the center of attention wherever he goes. Who knows, the future pages of the manga will show what he has been doing all this time and his crazy plans for Universe 7 and consequently the whole Dragon Ball system covered so far in Super. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll stop here for now. Until next time, bye.